Kindly like, subscribe and comment to get daily updates. Gautam S. Adani and Rajesh S. Adani. On behalf of S.B. Adani Family Trust, Promoter Group, revoked 31.00 thousand shares of ADANI Ports in Special Economic Zone worth 1.07 crore rupees via revocation of pledged. Balkrishna Shah, designated person, disposed 300 shares of IR Engineering worth 5.52 lakh rupees via a market sale. Alok Acacia, designated person, disposed 2.20 thousand shares of APL Apollo Tubes worth 52.99 lakh rupees via market sale. Amit Lumba, designated person, disposed 600 shares of APL Apollo Tubes worth 13.87 lakh rupees via a market sale. Dinesh Talnia, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of APL Apollo Tubes worth 47.96 lakh rupees via a market sale. Matt Tirlagan, V, designated person, disposed 550 shares of APL Apollo Tubes worth 13.36 lakh rupees via a market sale. Romi Sehgal, director, disposed 600 shares of APL Apollo Tubes worth 13.68 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sunita Reddy, promoter and director, pledged 10.10 lakh shares of Apollo Hospitals Enterprise worth 169.43 crore rupees via creation of pledged. Sunita Reddy, promoter and director, revoked 12.96 lakh shares of Apollo Hospitals Enterprise worth 217.46 crore rupees via pledged. Released. Sangrees Properties and Investments Company PVT, promoter group, revoked 1.21 lakh shares of Apollo Tyres worth 1.59 crore rupees via pledged. Released. Mr. Deepak Kumar Singh, designated person, disposed 28.00 thousand shares of Alkem Laboratories worth 7.89 crore rupees via a market sale. Abhay Bhave, designated person, disposed 5.50 thousand shares of Avenue Supermarts worth 1.27 crore rupees via a market sale. Jagmohan Bagri, designated person, disposed 415 shares of Avenue Supermarts worth 9.70 lakh rupees via a market sale. Mr. Sujati Mukherjee, designated person, disposed 1.80 thousand shares of Burger Paints India worth 10.21 lakh rupees via a market sale. Mr. Brereton Amol, promoter, disposed 8.71 lakh shares of Beardsell worth 63.66 lakh rupees via a market sale. Virender Singh Vadan, employee, disposed 11.60 thousand shares of Birlasoft worth 19.51 lakh rupees via a market sale. The Hindustan Times, promoter, acquired 20.00 thousand shares of CHAMBAL Fertilizers and Chemicals worth 31.34 lakh rupees via market purchase. Ashok J. Puria, promoter and director, disposed 50.00 thousand shares of COSMO Films worth 0 rupees via gift. Yamini Kumar, promoter group, acquired 50.00 thousand shares of COSMO Films worth 0 rupees via gift. DR.REDDY'S Employees ESOS Trust, other, acquired 19.28 thousand shares of R.EDDY'S Laboratories worth 8.55 crore rupees via market purchase. Simplex Impex Private Limited, promoter group, acquired 50.00 thousand shares of Dollar Industries worth 79.06 lakh rupees via market purchase. Bharat U.K.M.P. disposed 1.50 thousand shares of Dr. Lal PathLabs worth 27.81 lakh rupees via a market sale. Dr. Lal PathLabs Employee Welfare Trust, disposed 20.81 thousand shares of Dr. Lal PathLabs worth 2.08 lakh rupees via ESOP. Dr. Om Prakash Manchanda, director, acquired 16.67 thousand shares of Dr. Lal PathLabs worth 1.67 lakh rupees via EICHER. Shankar Banerjee, designated person, acquired 1,000 shares of Dr. Lal PathLabs worth 10,000 rupees via EICHER. Syed Salim SAVEN, employee, disposed 3.00 thousand shares of EICHER Motors worth 69.78 lakh rupees via a market sale. Vinod Kumar Agarwal, employee, disposed 10.00 thousand shares of EICHER Motors worth 2.34 crore rupees via a market sale. Prayas Engineering, promoter group, pledged 47.00 lakh shares of ELECON Engineering CO worth 94 lakh rupees via creation of pledged ELECTROSTEEL Sales India Ltd. Promoter group acquired 14.50 lakh shares of ELECTROSTEEL Castings worth 2.37 crore rupees via market purchase. Anurag Surana, Director, acquired 6.00 thousand shares of Fairchem Speciality worth 34.87 lakh rupees via market purchase. Ganpati Vishwanathan, Director, acquired 26.02 thousand shares of GENESYS International Corporation worth 12.62 lakh rupees via market purchase. Mr. Somesh Sabani, employee, disposed 2.20 thousand shares of Gulf Oil Lubricants India worth 15.90 lakh rupees via a market sale. Anil BMBOLI, designated person, disposed 7.00 thousand shares of HDFC Asset Management Company worth 1.74 crore rupees via market sale. Ajit Shetty, designated person, disposed 3.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 33.60 lakh rupees via a market sale. Amit Kumar Saraf, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 22.04 lakh rupees via a market sale. Anand Ashok Mathur, designated person, disposed 550 shares of HDFC Bank worth 5.84 lakh rupees via a market sale. Anand Mankodi, designated person, disposed 3.30 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 36.22 lakh rupees via a market sale. Anil Bhavnani, designated person, disposed 7.50 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 83.64 lakh rupees via a market sale. Arup Kumar Rakshit, designated person, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 55.17 lakh rupees via a market sale. Ashish Agrawal, designated person, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 55.58 lakh rupees via a market sale. Bhaskar Chandra Panda, designated person, disposed 7.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 77.71 lakh rupees via a market sale. Bindu Madhav P. Tikekar, designated person, disposed 9.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1 crore rupees via a market sale. Debajit Das, designated person, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 55.23 lakh rupees via a market sale. Gaurav Sarda, designated person, disposed 4.75 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 52.68 lakh rupees via a market sale. Kazad Bharucha, Director, disposed 100.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 11.16 crore rupees via a market sale. Manish Kumar Agrawal, designated person, disposed 6.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 69.18 lakh rupees via a market sale. Mehul Dipil Nagda, designated person, disposed 2.50 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 28.01 lakh rupees via a market sale. Munish Mittal, designated person, disposed 16.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 1.76 crore rupees via a market sale. Niranjan Kavatkar, designated person, disposed 2.90 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 32.22 lakh rupees via a market sale. Nirav Harelal Motor, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank worth 11 lakh rupees via a market sale. Nitish Nagori, designated person, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 55.61 lakh rupees via a market sale. Prashant Ramesh Mehra, designated person, disposed 33.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 3.68 crore rupees via a market sale. Rajesh Bhautavan, designated person, disposed 34.50 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 3.84 crore rupees via a market sale. Rajesh Kanubhai Nayak, designated person, disposed 4.70 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 50.82 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sangeeta Sanka, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of HDFC Bank worth 11.08 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sanjay John D'Souza, designated person, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 55.86 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sanjay Kumar Singh, designated person, disposed 4.90 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 54.35 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sharad Vijay Goenka, designated person, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 54.82 lakh rupees via a market sale. Siddhanshu Mitra, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 21.68 lakh rupees via a market sale. Smita Bhagat, designated person, disposed 4.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 44.90 lakh rupees via a market sale. Unnikrishnan Subramanian Narishankara Nilayam, designated person, disposed 4.00 thousand shares of HDFC Bank worth 44.72 lakh rupees via a market sale. D'Souza JCA, designated person, acquired 1.54 lakh shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 15.63 crore rupees via EICHER. Gupta Ankur, designated person, acquired 43.75 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 4.44 crore rupees via EICHER. Iyer Karthik Nilakantan, designated person, acquired 5.00 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 50.73 lakh rupees via EICHER. Jigna Chandrakant NEGANDHI, designated person, acquired 5.00 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 50.73 lakh rupees via EICHER. Joshi Sanjay, designated person, acquired 90.00 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 9.13 crore rupees via EICHER. Mystery KM, director, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 92.49 lakh rupees via market sale. Mittal Rajiv, designated person, acquired 25.50 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 2.59 crore rupees via EICHER. MYTHILI Venugopal, designated person, acquired 10.06 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 1.02 crore rupees via EICHER. MYTHILI Venugopal, designated person, revoked 500 shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 9.11 lakh rupees via revocation of pledged. Praveen RSI K.C.P, designated person, acquired 1.50 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 23.55 lakh rupees via ESOP. Pushp Rana, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 18.30 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sanket Suhas Kolhatkar, designated person, acquired 1.20 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 12.18 lakh rupees via ESOP. Tarapur Anjali S, designated person, disposed 2.00 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 36.74 lakh rupees via a market sale. Tiwari Manish, designated person, disposed 10.40 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 1.90 crore rupees via market sale. Tiwari Manish, designated person, revoked 10.40 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 1.90 crore rupees via revocation of pledged. Venkateswaran N, designated person, acquired 8.38 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 84.98 lakh rupees via ESOP. Shripati Benu, other, disposed 27.14 thousand shares of IIFL Finance worth 21.63 lakh rupees via a market sale. Prince Holdings Madras Private, Promoter Group, acquired 4.93 lakh shares of India Cements worth 5.93 crore rupees via market purchase. Ajit Kumar Jain, Director, disposed 12.00 thousand shares of IPCA Laboratories worth 2.46 crore rupees via a market sale. Map Auto, Promoter, acquired 37.00 thousand shares of JAMNA Auto Industries worth 16.11 lakh rupees via market purchase. JM Financial Services, member of Promoter Group, disposed 483 shares of JM Financial Products worth 9.70 crore rupees via market. Gopal Bhai H, Shangala, Promoter Group, acquired 2.65 lakh shares of Jigar Cables worth 0 rupees via interstate transfer. Nitesh Purushottam Bhai Vaghasia, Promoter Group, acquired 7.40 lakh shares of Jigar Cables worth 0 rupees via interstate transfer. Purushottam Bhai Laji Bhai Vaghasia, Promoter, disposed 7.40 lakh shares of Jigar Cables worth 0 rupees via interstate transfer. Vasant Bhai H, Shangala, other, disposed 2.65 lakh shares of Jigar Cables worth 0 rupees via interstate transfer. S. Rajiv Rangasamy, Promoter Group, disposed 10.00 thousand shares of K.C.P worth 6.31 lakh rupees via a market sale. Ambud Chandna, Employee, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 69.60 lakh rupees via a market sale. Bhargesh Ojha, Employee, disposed 3.00 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 42 lakh rupees via a market sale. Chetan Savla, Employee, disposed 4.72 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 66.14 lakh rupees via a market sale. Deepak Gupta, Director, disposed 15.00 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 2.08 crore rupees via a market sale. Jameen Bhatt, KMP, disposed 9.30 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 1.29 crore rupees via a market sale. Narendra Agrawal, Employee, disposed 3.33 thousand shares of Kotak Mahindra Bank worth 47.52 lakh rupees via a market sale. Kannan Chakravarti, designated person. Akila Krishna Kumar, Promoter Group, disposed 1.15 lakh shares of Mindtree worth 13.65 crore rupees via a market sale. Krishna Kumar N, Promoter, disposed 4.90 lakh shares of Mindtree worth 58.87 crore rupees via a market sale. Siddharth Krishna Kumar, Promoter Group, disposed 27.52 thousand shares of Mindtree worth 3.28 crore rupees via a market sale. Subrato Bagchi, Promoter, disposed 84.92 thousand shares of Mindtree worth 10.17 crore rupees via a market sale. Anirudh Bhanuprasad Mehta, Promoter and Director, acquired 161 shares of MRO-TEK Realty worth 4.15 thousand rupees via market purchase. Suresh Jain, Promoter, disposed 2.19 lakh shares of Monarch Networth Capital worth 58.01 lakh rupees via a market sale. Rajendra Kumar Agrawal, designated person, disposed 50.00 thousand shares of Music Broadcast worth 11.05 lakh rupees via a market sale. Gajanant Saraf, connected person, acquired 1.44 lakh shares of National Oxygen worth 46.80 lakh rupees via market purchase. KARTHICKRAMANAPRASAD Prasad, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of Oracle Financial Services Software worth 30.35 lakh rupees via a market sale. Mudit Kumar Govil, designated person, disposed 418 shares of Oracle Financial Services Software worth 12.73 lakh rupees via a market sale. Ravindranathan Kunchipurayal, designated person, disposed 875 shares of Oracle Financial Services Software worth 26.28 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sanjeev Chakrabarti, designated person, acquired 700 shares of Oracle Financial Services Software worth 14.35 lakh rupees via ESOP. Ronson Traders Limited, Promoter Group, acquired 1.63 thousand shares of Palash Securities worth 45.62 thousand rupees via market purchase. Roshni Sharma, immediate relative, acquired 1.05 thousand shares of Prataap Snacks worth 6.26 lakh rupees via market purchase. Sumit Sharma, KMP, acquired 1.72 thousand shares of Prataap Snacks worth 10.22 lakh rupees via market purchase. Lokesh Garg, designated person, revoked 5.55 thousand shares of RBL Bank worth 10.35 lakh rupees via revocation of pledged. Parul Seth, designated person, revoked 1.60 lakh shares of RBL Bank worth 2.88 crore rupees via revocation of pledged. A. Nithya, Promoter, acquired 100.00 thousand shares of RPP Infra Projects worth 32.19 lakh rupees via market purchase. Enik Tarunya, Promoter's immediate relative, acquired 20.00 thousand shares of RPP Infra Projects worth 6.40 lakh rupees via market purchase. N. Yagvi, Promoter's immediate relative, acquired 25.00 thousand shares of RPP Infra Projects worth 7.50 lakh rupees via market purchase. Palm Shelter Estate Development LLP, Promoter, disposed 14.39 lakh shares of Shoppers Stop worth 26.86 crore rupees via interstate transfer. Raghukul Estate Development LLP, Promoter, acquired 14.39 lakh shares of Shoppers Stop worth 26.97 crore rupees via interstate transfer. Rajat Lal, Promoter, acquired 5.47 thousand shares of Sir Shadi Lal Enterprises worth 2.18 lakh rupees via off-market. Anand Agrawal, Director, disposed 50.00 thousand shares of Sterlite Technologies worth 82.04 lakh rupees via a market sale. Raksha Valia, Director's immediate relative, revoked 19.05 lakh shares of Sun Pharmaceutical Industries worth 101.48 crore rupees via pledged. Released. Sanghvi Finance Private, Promoter Group, Revoked 26.50 lakh shares of Sun Pharmaceutical Industries worth 140.19 crore rupees via pledged. Released. Mr. CHARANJIV Dhawan, Director's immediate relative, disposed 10.00 thousand shares of Sunflag Iron and Steel Co. worth 4.67 lakh rupees via a market sale. Surya Roshni Employees Welfare Trust, Promoter Group, acquired 25.00 thousand shares of Surya Roshni worth 45.73 lakh rupees via market purchase. Sunil Sikpa, Director, acquired 4.05 thousand shares of Surya Roshni worth 7.64 lakh rupees via market purchase. Deepak Vidya, immediate relative, acquired 7.43 thousand shares of Strides Pharma Science worth 45.57 lakh rupees via market purchase. Jayalakshmi Venkataraman, Promoter, disposed 5.00 thousand shares of Ultramarine and Pigments worth 13.65 lakh rupees via a market sale. S. Narayan, Promoter Group, disposed 2.70 thousand shares of Ultramarine and Pigments worth 7.42 lakh rupees via a market sale. Sridhar Sundararajan, Promoter, disposed 7.00 thousand shares of Ultramarine and Pigments worth 18.99 lakh rupees via market sale. THIRUMALAI Chemicals Limited, Promoter, acquired 10.00 thousand shares of Ultramarine and Pigments worth 27.29 lakh rupees via market purchase. Pilani Investment and Industries Corporation, Promoter Group, disposed 56.00 thousand shares of UltraTech Cement worth 23.34 crore rupees via a market sale. Manish Dutt, Director, acquired 2.00 thousand shares of VR Films and Studios worth 1.28 lakh rupees via market purchase. Sachit Jain, Promoter and Director, acquired 1.09 thousand shares of Vardhaman Special Steels worth 81.56 thousand rupees via market purchase. Mr. Srinivas Kaura, Promoter and Director, disposed 1.18 lakh shares of Zelpmog Design and Tech worth 1.85 crore rupees via a market sale.